I'm going to put in a bypass really fast that bypasses this flow restrictor on the drain of the RO system. So basically when the water pressure is pressing against the membrane, any water that's rejected goes down through this drain and is restricted, so that doesn't just flow right out. This thing kind of slows it down a little bit so the pressure has time to push some water through the membrane. And this thing is sized based on the size of the membrane. So in order to flush out your membrane, you have to be able to bypass this, which you can do by just unscrewing this and letting the water flow directly out of this tube. Or you can put a bypass in that goes around it with a little valve. So you just turn this valve on for a few minutes, turn it off, and that'll give you an automatic backflush on the other side of that membrane, which is supposed to allow your membrane to last longer. But there's another advantage to having a bypass too, which is if for some reason if you wanted to use the water to go through these sediment filters but not to go through this membrane, when you turn on this bypass, that's exactly what you're going to get out this black tube. So for some reason you wanted that water filtered without the membrane, that could come in handy in certain conditions, and in my situation I do need that. So the first thing I got to do is figure out how long I want it to be. It's about like that. I got to put the valve in the middle, so I'm going to cut that. This is a 1/4 inch OD polyethylene tubing. So I'm going to cut 2 of these. And you just kind of want to make sure that they're somewhat round, so we can use these press fit fittings to bypass this thing. Now I already turned off the pressure to this system, so there shouldn't be too much water trying to come out of this when I cut it. These are John Guest 1/4 inch press fit fittings. I'm pretty sure I ordered these online from China. It took a while to get them, but it was worth the wait. I got bags of 10 for like $5. You know, they're really not expensive, but if you try to buy them locally, they can be pretty expensive. And as simple as that, you can get a seal, 60 psi, just like a shark bite. I want that a little shorter. This is the same thing, John Guest style, press fit 1/4 inch OD. I did cut that too short. Of course, this on the drain side, there's not a lot of water pressure on this, but even if there was, these fittings should be leak-free. Alright, and that's it. That's done. When this is closed, it'll use the flow restrictor, and when it's open, it'll drain. So I'm going to turn on the pressure to the system. So now it's making water, and right now I have this set up where it's actually causing it to go through the RO membrane, go through the flow restrictor. So I'm going to use this to bypass and cause a flush. Now it's just pumping water straight through. It's going through these 3 sediment filters and out into the drain. So theoretically it's cleaning the other side of that membrane. Now they sell kits that you can buy that have all these parts. Basically it's just 2 Ys and a valve, but I think you can get kits like that on eBay for a pretty reasonable price, probably $10 or something like that.